Hello everyone. So in today's video, you're going to discuss about the HTTP and HTTPS, and we'll understand this concept with a practical example. So first of all, a bit of theory. What is HTTP? So HTTP means basically hypertext transfer protocol, which is the foundation of data communication on the web. So HTTP is the basically it's the mechanism that enables the web browser and server to communicate and exchange data, and HTTPS is basically the encrypted version of HTTP. And the full form of HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and extra S means secure. So what does HTTP do? It basically adds a layer of security by using SSL TLS certificate, which ensure that data transfer between the client and the server is encrypted and protected. Okay, so this is the only difference between the HTTP and HTTPS. But here are some methods, status that we will discuss with an example. Now let's say this is a random website, and we can see some menus over here: home, hire me, labs, and all that. So at this moment, I'm in the project menu. As you can see in here, in the web address, you can see projects.php. That means I'm in the project menu. Now let's say when I will click on vlog menu, that means a request will be sent to the server, and this and after receiving the request, the server will respond the blog blog.php. Let's say when I'll click on the blog, when I click on the blog menu, it will send this browser. This is the client basically. So the client will send the request to the server, and the server response will be this blog page. Okay. Now when I click on the blog menu, a request is sent to the server. So basically, this is the request look like. I captured this request using the barb suite. So this is the request that has been sent to the server. Now let's understand the request in detail. Here we can see get. So this is indicates the HTTP method. So get is a HTTP method which used to request data from a server. It is the most common HTTP method. So basically, when I was in the project menu, when I click on the blog, that means I'm requesting the server to give me access to this blog menu. So that's why get method is used here. In other cases, we might see some other method, let's say post method. So post method is used to send data to the server. Let's say I want to make a booking for my COVID vaccination. So in that case, what I have to do, I have to I have to fulfill a forms. So in that forms, it might ask to put down my name, my age, my gender, my nationality, and all this information, right? So after fulfilling the forms, when I will press the submit button, this data will be sent to the server. So that means when I am submitting the form, data is sending to the server. So that's why instead of get, post method will be used, as I am sending data to the server. Okay. And there's some more method like put method. So put method is used to update or create resource on the server. Let's say I have a Facebook ID. So my Facebook ID name is Jeff Bezos. Now let's say I want to change my Facebook name from Jeff Bezos to Elon Musk. So when I will go to my Facebook account and try to perform this action to change my name from Jeff Bezos to Elon Musk, at that time the put method will be used. Okay. Now another method is called delete method. So delete method is used to delete a specified resources from the server. Let's say now I want to delete my Facebook account. So at that time the delete method will be used. So these four commons, HTTP method is commonly used, but there are some other methods. I'll try to discuss every methods in my upcoming videos. Okay. Now let's understand this concept. Okay. Now let's go further. Now here we can see. Let me write it down first. So it is the get method, as I am requesting to load the blog page. So that's why the get method is used here. Now this blog.php is indicates that I am requesting for blog page or blog menu. That's why the blog.php is written here. And this HTTP is indicating that it specifies the version of HTTP, which is 1.1. Earlier time it used to be 1.0, but now in most of the cases you will see 1.1. And the next one is host. So host header is basically specify the domain name of the server. The domain name of the server where the request is being sent. So in this case it is DG Ninja. Also you can see in here the DG Ninja, which is the our host name. Okay, and then we can see the user agent. So in most of the cases, you will see Mozilla 5.0 in here. So it basically identify the client as a Mozilla compatible browser. And this Windows and all this information, it basically indicates that the client is running on 64-bit, 64-bit, and the version of Windows is 10. Okay, as I have captured this request from the Firefox, that's why the Firefox is written here. Okay, and then we can see the accept. So accept header basically tells the server what type of content that the client can handle. So here we can see the client means the browser can handle the HTML data or XHTML data, this type of data, and we can see some more type of content which can be handled by the browser. And this portion is basically indicates any type of content is acceptable, but with the lower priority. So the priority is 0.8 out of 1. Okay, and we can see the accepted language here. So accepted language is en use. That means the client prefer language is English, the version is US. But here we can see that it also can accept any other variant of English, but with the lower priority. So in this case the priority is 0.5. And here we can see some accept encoding, which tells the server which compression method that the client support. So in this case we can see the gzip and deflect, this encoding method is accepted, which can reduce the size of the data transfer. Okay, and here we can see the refer. So refer is basically means it provides the URL of the page that the user was on before making this request. So in this case we can see this is the project. So what does it mean? When I was requesting for block menu, I was in the project menu. So that's why the project is written here. Now let's say now I'm in the block menu. Okay, now if I want to access the labs in here, that means here at that time the block will be written here. Okay, I hope you I hope you got the concept. So this, it simply means the referrer, that means it provides the URL of the page that the user was on before making the request. So now if I want to make a request for labs, so that means the referrer will be block. Now let's say I'm in the labs. Now I want to access the hierarchy. So at that time the referrer will be what? Referrer will be labs. Okay, and then there's a connection is closed, which specify whether the network should remain open or be closed after the request is complete. So in this case it is closed. That means the client is asking the server to close the connection after sending the response. Okay, and here we can see the cookie. So cookie is basically the small piece of data that the server store on client for tracking purposes. So I'll make a dedicated video on cookie to get the concept better. And here we can see the upgrade insecure request. So upgrade insecure request, it basically tells the server that the client prefers secure version of content. Okay, and in most of the cases this is added by in modern browser basically adds this request. So which helps to mitigate certain type of attacks. So this header is added by almost every modern browser. Okay, and here we can see the priority equals 0 and I. So which means that the request that I am making, the priority is 0 out of 1. So that means it has the lower priority. So this header basically helps the server to understand the importance of this request. Okay, and after sending this request to the server is responded with a web page. So in this case it was vlog. So here we can see in the response the HTTP 1.1, which indicates the version, and 200 is basically indicates the status code. So 200 means the request was successfully received, understood and accepted, and OK is indicating the request was successful. So that's why actually we are seeing this block page. Okay, and in other cases we might see 100 something. So 100 something means the request was received and the server is processing it. In other cases we might see 300 something, sometimes we see 301 or 302. So it means the redirection. That means the client must take further action to complete the request. In some other cases we might see 400 something, which indicates the client error. So uh, often we see sometimes 404 not found. So that means the requested resource not be found on the server. In other cases we might see 403 forbidden. So that means the client does not have the permission to access the requested resources. Okay, and another status code we might see which is 500 something, so which indicates the server error. So that means the server failed to fulfill a valid request. Okay, and here we can see the date when actually I intercepted this request and all that, and here we can just see the server. So after that there will be a HTML code for this web page. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the details about the HTTP request and response. So if you have any queries, let me know in the comments.